Okay, so today we're going to be multiplying integers, and I think that you will find that it is fairly simple because you're not really learning anything new. You just need to follow a couple rules in order to get the correct answers. So today there are two rules that you need to remember when you're multiplying. So rule number one is if they both have the same sign, the answer to your multiplication is positive. So when I say the same sign, that means if they're both positive or they're both negative. So for example, if I have 6 times 4, obviously the answer is 24. The signs are the same, they're both positive, so your answer is positive. Or I could have negative 5 times negative 2. 5 times 2 is 10, and the rule is if they have the same sign, the answer is positive. So this is negative and this is negative, so your answer is positive. So even though they're both negative, your answer is still positive. If the signs are the same with two numbers, then your answer is positive. So that's rule number one. Now rule number two, if they have different signs, then the answer is negative. So if you have negative 3 times 4, 3 times 4 is 12, and they have two different, one is negative, one's positive. They have two different signs, so the answer is negative. You could have 6 times negative 5. 6 times 5 is 30. 1 is positive, 1 is negative, so your answer is negative. So in the red, both of my numbers were either positive or negative. They're the same in each question, so your answer is positive. In the bottom, in the yellow, 1 is positive, 1 is negative, so your answer is negative. I'm going to go down here and do a few more examples like that you might have on your homework today before we discuss some other types of questions that you're going to have today. Everything really will be mainly multiplication and following the two rules that I stated above. We're just going to look at what types of questions or what they'll look like. So for example, you could have 5 times negative 6. So just like yesterday, the parentheses don't mean anything. It just is showing you that this is times and that's a negative 6, just so you don't see the times and the minus sign next to each other and get confused. So 5 times 6 is 30. And the rule is if the signs are different, so one's positive and one's negative, then your answer is negative. You also could have a question that looks like this, negative 7 and then negative 9, and they're right next to each other. We've discussed this a million times over, that if there's two things like this right next to each other, it means times. So 7 times 9 is 63, and since the signs are the same, my answer is positive, so it's just 63. You might be given a question as simple as like 8 times 10. Don't think too hard. 8 times 10, you know that. It's 80. Don't let this whole idea of positives and negatives trick you. If they're both positive, it's just like you've been learning since 3rd and 4th grade. The other one that you might see is they might use exponents. And so that doesn't really change anything. You might be given negative 10 squared. So you should remember that negative 10 to the power of 2 or negative 10 squared is really negative 10 times negative 10. So 10 times 10 is 100. And since the signs are the same, then it's a positive answer. Now, there is something else that I do want you to pay attention to. Now, you could be given a problem with a different exponent. So you could be given, negative 3 to the power of 3. So it's negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. Now you should remember, you cannot multiply more than two numbers at a time. So I have to go through and do only two at a time. So watch what I'm doing. Negative 3 times negative 3. 3 times 3 gives me 9, and they're both negative, so I have a positive answer. So I'm done with this, and I'm done with this. All that I'm left with is this guy right here. So I have 9 times negative 3. 9 times 3 is 27. Now my signs are different, so my answer is negative. So some of you looked up in this first example right here, and you said, oh, all the signs are the same, so it must be a positive answer. Not correct, because when I went through the steps, my last problem was 9 times negative 3, so my answer was still negative. So you have to follow the proper steps of multiplication in order to do that. So I'm going to do one more example like that. It might not be an exponent problem. You could be given negative 2 times negative 6 times -4. So I'm going to go with -2 times -6 first. 2 times 6 is 12, and since they're both negative, my answer is positive 12. So now I'm left with 12 times -4. 12 times 4 is 48, and since my signs are different, it is negative. Okay, now we're going to move into some other types of questions that we're going to have today, and I'm going to do some examples for you on those. So I'm going to get rid of this stuff over here so it's not distracting. So one of the types of questions you will have is using order of operations. So I put on here, this is like questions 20 through 22 on your homework today. So they say use order of operations to evaluate each expression. So remember, they use a lot of big words in the directions. It really just means use order of operations to find the answer. So you should remember order of operations. I'll put it over here. PEMDAS, PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So the first thing that you need to do is parentheses. Well, there are parentheses in this question, but they don't have you do anything. So for example, it doesn't say like parentheses 5 plus 3. All that these parentheses are showing you in these questions are that these numbers are negative. So the parentheses don't really mean anything today in terms of you have to do that first. Okay, the next thing is exponents. I don't see any exponents in number 1. The next step is multiplication and division, and you should remember that those two go together. So you go from left to right doing your multiplication and division. So my first step I see is right here. So they're right next to each other, so that means to multiply. 5 times 4 is 20, and 1 is positive and 1 is negative. So I know that that is a negative 20. So I'm left with 7 plus negative 20 plus negative 6. Well, what I'm going to do next is addition and subtraction. There is no subtraction, so I'm obviously just going to add. Now, everything that's left is addition, so it doesn't matter what order that you add in. So I'm going to combine my two things that are alike, so negative 20 and negative 6. So I'm already at negative 20, and I'm going negative 6 more negative. So now I'm left with 7 plus negative 26. Okay, this is like what we did on Tuesday. So if you're at 7 and you go back 26, or if you on your number line, or you could think of it as if your signs are different, then you subtract them. So 26 minus 7 would leave me at 19. And I look at the number that has the greater absolute value, 7 or 26, and that's 26, so it would be negative 19. So you just have to go through these step by step by step by step. Okay, let's look at example number 2. I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff because it's kind of confusing seeing all of that on the board. I should have left PEMDAS. PEMDAS. Okay, so same concept with number 2. Parentheses, nothing that has any operations in it. Exponents, no. Multiplication and division, yes. So right here I see times. Negative 3 times negative 6. 3 times 6 is 18, and if they're both negative, my answer is positive. So I have negative 9 plus 18 minus 3. Okay, so now I'm going to go left to right. So negative 9 plus 18. So I'm at negative 9 on my number line, and I'm going 18 to the right. Or you could think about it as they have opposite signs, so you really subtract them, which will leave me with 9. And 18 has the greater absolute value, so it's positive. So now I'm left with 9 minus 3, and that will give me 6. So don't look at the question as a whole. Look at it and go through step by step by step. Okay, now we're going to look at another type of question you're going to have today. And so on the directions, it says this is for numbers 23 through 26. So the directions will say evaluate each expression when b equals 4. Or in your case, it says when c equals 6. So I just changed my examples, but it's the same exact type of questions that you will have. So remember, evaluate just means solve. Expression means really it's the problem. So solve the problem when b equals 4. And if you look in each of my examples, except for number 2, I wrote it wrong. I'll fix that. If you look in each of my examples, you'll see the letter B. So all you're going to do is you're going to take 4 from the directions and stick it into the question. And so let's start. Number 1, negative 6b. So you should remember that when the letter and the variable the number and the variable are right next to each other, it means to multiply. So it's negative 6 times 4, and that gives you 24. And the rule is when the signs are different, it is negative. So negative 24. Okay, number 2. So I have negative 10b. I'm going to stick that in. So that's 4 minus a negative 8. So this would be an example where you need to follow the order of operations, even though it doesn't say it in the directions. Whenever you have multiple operations in a question, you always follow the order of operations. So I ask myself, do I multiply first or do I subtract first? Well, you should know that you multiply first. So negative 10 times 4. Well, 10 times 4 is 40. 1 is negative, 1 is positive. So that gives me negative 40. And then I'm left with minus a minus 8. So as we learned yesterday, minus a minus really means plus plus. So I'm left with negative 40 plus 8. Well, if I'm at negative 40 on my number line and I move into the right 8 spaces, I'm going to be left at negative 32. Okay, number 3. Move my board down a little bit here. And give me a little bit more space before I start this one. Okay. So 6 plus 5b minus 3, so I'm going to stick my 4 in. That's the first thing I'm going to do. And I recommend you doing that on your scratch paper that you're using, is rewrite the problem with the number in it. So 6 plus 5, I'm going to put 4 in parentheses, minus 3. So again, you follow the order of operations when you solve this. So the first thing I'm going to do is my multiplication, which is 5 times 4. And they're both positive, so that just gives me 20. 6 plus 20 minus 3. If I follow that, 6 plus 20 gives me 26, minus 3 gives me 23. And number 4. Okay, this one throws in absolute value. So when I write my problem, it's absolute value of negative 2 times 4. Well, if you remember, absolute value really just means how far a number is from 0. So really, this is actually 2 times 4 equals 8. So the absolute value is always the positive version of it. So the absolute value of negative 2 is really just 2. So 2 times 4 gave me 8. Okay, and the last examples I'm going to go over today. This is like the review part on the bottom of your homework, number 31 through 35. It says evaluate 10 minus x for the given values of x. Okay, so in your directions, it says evaluate 7 minus y. So the directions gives you the problem. So you're going to use, for both 1 and 2, I'm going to use 10 minus x. And the given value of x, that means for each number, 31 through 35, it tells you what to stick in for the variable, or stick in for y. So I'm going to stick in 5 for x on the first one. So it's really just 10 minus 5. So I got my expression up here in the directions, 10 minus x, and I stuck 5 in for x. So 10 minus 5 give me 5. And then example number 2 is negative 2. So I still am using my expression from the directions. So 10 minus x, and x in this example is negative 2. So it really becomes plus plus. 10 plus 2 is 12. I hope that is fairly clear for you. Remember, the 2 biggest rules they want you to learn today is back up over here. Sorry, right there. There they are. If two numbers that you multiply have the same sign, it's a positive answer, and if 2 numbers that you multiply have different signs, then it is a negative answer.